I told you I was going to keep you up to date on the latest on the debt ceiling. It's coming up. And this is the latest that I can find right here. But it's very important. It's a very important development in it because it gives you a clearer picture about what way this whole thing's headed. Uh, we have in the Office of Management, we have Budget Director Mick Mulvaney. And he has told Fox News on Monday that he expects Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin to use extraordinary measures when the current debt ceiling extension expires on March 15th. So what that means is, it means that they have money put away that they can actually use. It'll extend out several months past the March 15th deadline to pay all of their debts and all of their bills. So it's not a hard March 15th. It's not a hard stop. It's not going to be a hard landing. They can smooth on in and they can find out what's going on. And so they have that extra money put away. It's kind of like you. If you were going to not be working for a month or two, but you had enough money in the bank to carry you through that whole time. See, so if your job was going to end, say on March 1st, but you had enough money to extend through March, through April, through May, and through June in the bank, you wouldn't be so worried. Well, this is the way with them. These extraordinary measures is that extra money that they have put away in the bank, so to speak, that they can use to pay the bills of the country. It runs out more or less sometime around August or September, the extraordinary measures. So they know that they have to do something in that time frame. So it says the Secretary of the Treasury actually makes the decision. I expect him to do what all previous secretaries of the Treasury have done, at least all the ones I'm familiar with, to use those extraordinary measures, or that extra money, to extend the date from March 15th. Mulvaney said in an interview on Fox News. And then he says, now get this, he says, but we will deal with it, he said. And certainly before Congress recesses in August. So in other words, what he's telling you very clearly is they are going to deal with the debt limit extension sometime before August. And it says, at his confirmation hearing last month, he said he would like to see an increase in the debt ceiling sooner rather than later. That's key to understanding this. What he said right there, that he'd like to see an increase in the debt ceiling sooner rather than later. So it means that once they go into extraordinary measures on March 15th, it means that they're thinking very clearly that what they want to do is they want to not let that go too far. They're going to increase the debt ceiling. This is basically what they're telling you. And they say sooner rather than later. So what I'm getting out of this article from reading it is that this debt ceiling, even though it can be something very dangerous and you can go over the cliff with it and everything, and the extraordinary measures could run out, and this could happen and that could happen, what's more than likely really set up to happen is that they're going to increase the debt ceiling like they've done before in other times. So it's probably not going to be the Black Swan event. Now, this is the latest I'm getting on it. Now, I have a couple other things to add. The elections in Netherlands, together with the elections in France, could be a Black Swan event. They could be a super bad. But just recently, in the past week or so, things seem to be turning around in both of those elections. Geert Wilders is not coming in as strong as he was. He's lost ground. He's the guy for the Netherlands. And Marine Le Pen has just went through a huge scandal where they're threatening to take her to court or whatever over some pictures. they're saying that she posted some pictures of ISIS or something on her Facebook or something like that. To me, it's much to do over nothing. But they seem to are using it as a wedge to try to get her out of there, and they're using the same tactic that they tried to use on Donald Trump to get him out of there, and to get Hillary in. That's what I see, and that's my opinion on it only. So anyway, Marine Le Pen's dropped back. So now, if we can float through this debt ceiling debacle, and they raise the debt ceiling, everything will be hunky-dory. And then if we can kind of float through the elections in Netherlands, and we can kind of float through the elections in France, what you're going to see is you're going to see the beginning, I believe, of a real economic recovery if we can get through these next three events. So stay tuned and like and subscribe. And I got to keep my eye on things as things develop, because what I'm seeing is trends, and I'm trying to predict these trends. The way things are looking right now, the trends is starting to look like Geert Wilders and Marine Le Pen both will not make it. That's the way it's starting to look like, and that's the way it's starting to go. Now, we'll have to wait and see how this develops. I'm going to stay right on top of it every minute of the way and see how it develops. It's a very interesting story because everything kind of hinges on the whole European Union right now. The future of the European Union hinges on these elections with Geert Wilders and Marine Le Pen, and then probably a snap election coming from Italy and also Germany. So, if we do get this real economic recovery, this is what's going to be the lead-in to hyperinflation, or very, very profound inflation. This is your real trouble point. Because see, already back when the bond market started to fall, the flow of money has already changed directions. What could stop this action that's already taken place is a big giant problem in Europe. So if they can avert that problem in Europe, the action that's already in place and already moving, the trend that's already in place and already moving will continue. And this could lead to a real economic recovery, and then later total disaster, unparalleled disaster. So I've went over this before in other videos, and I'm going to go over it again in the future. Why an economic recovery can lead to a total disaster, but eventually, I want to have it explained precisely how the mechanism works, how this total economic recovery, a real economic recovery, can actually lead to an unparalleled economic disaster. Thank you very much for listening. Like and subscribe. Bye for now.